Ladies and gentlemen, this is take 2 of episode 50 because I got my microphone wrong again. It's been too long since we've been in the studio, Lord. It's been too long since we've been doing it this way. Welcome to Monorail Memoirs. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, doesn't matter when you're watching. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate it. Today, we are going to be talking about the Run Disney Springtime Surprise medals. Before we do that, though, Lauren, this is actually our first episode back from being in Florida together. It's also our 1-year anniversary of Monorail Memoirs as a channel. I checked earlier, even though this is episode 50, we've done more than 50 episodes by the time you include room tours and things like that. We've done 100 and something shorts. We have been doing this. We said we would review it at the 1-year mark and whether or not we wanted to keep doing this. And well, we've got the schedule planned out for the rest of the month, so I'd argue we probably do. But before we get into all of that, Lauren, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm loving sporting my new Run Disney merch. I can finally join the club because you've been wearing them all year, yes, and I have not.
Yes, I have. You are correct. And also, in addition to that, now naturally I've got all the ones from previous before, and this is so minor and something that you picked up on that I didn't. It makes perfect sense because with these springtime surprise ones being in, hear me out, spring, these ones are short sleeves, whereas the other ones that I got from in January are long sleeve. This makes so much more sense.
Yeah, definitely. And it meant that we could then wear them around the parks. And so when we were wearing them, we weren't, like sweating too much and all that sort of stuff. And we could wear it, we can either wear it with our medals or without our medals. It didn't really matter. But something else that we noticed as well is that they are actual Brooks t-shirts. So they're really nice quality.
Yeah, I'm massively impressed by the quality. Massively impressed. You'll have seen on our channel that we did a vlog every day for the races, so please go and give that a look if you're interested in the specific details. But moving on to what we're talking about today, which is the medals themselves. Lauren, we've been back a couple of weeks now. You've had time to reflect. What was your favourite part of Run Disney?
So it's going to sound really cliche, but it is just running through Disney. And I think my favourite part of the actual race was running underneath Spaceship Earth. Like, that was just amazing. That feeling was second to none. The Spaceship Earth just lighting up. Those who don't know, it's the big ball in Epcot. Lighting up and just running around it. And it was really quiet. I've got one of my favourite run shots there as well from the photo pass, where I was like leaping in the air. Yeah, absolutely loved it.
No, good. I'm glad. And I think it's the only thing that I'll say. And yes, it's an amazing feeling running on the Spaceship Earth. Just wait until at some point in the future we do Dopey and you run through the castle. Like, that's down Main Street and through the castle. Well, you actually go round through Adventureland first, but then run back to the castle. Yeah, that's pretty special. Anywho, we're going to get on to the medals themselves. So you get 4 medals if you do the full springtime surprise weekend. You get the 5K, 10K, 10 mile, and then the challenge medal, which is represented by this t-shirt, the 19.3 miles. Lauren, before you show our viewer the medals themselves, which is your favorite of the bunch?
So I'm looking down here because they are down here. I'm going to say the challenge medal.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's of course going to be the last one. So we're going to start then with the 5K medal. Lauren, show us what we've got. Here we are. Judy Hopps, Nick Wilde, Springtime Surprise 5K. Lauren, talk us through the medal.
Yeah, so I really like how it's almost like a police badge. Like that's how it's kind of.
I hadn't noticed that, but yeah.
Oh, really?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so it's like a sheriff's badge, which I quite like that detail. And I also, it doesn't have any like interactive parts. That's important because the ones that come on do. But I do like how the magnifying glass is like 3D. So the glass is actually like concaved, so it does look kind of like it's magnifying Nick Wilde a little bit. It's actually really hefty. I know it's the lightest of the 4, but it is still quite hefty. And then on the back, just got that beautiful.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
And also a little diamond Mickey there.
I never noticed that either.
Which I think is the authenticity marker.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, but I hadn't thought about that. That makes a lot of sense because for those who aren't runners, whenever you finish a race, you get a medal. But I got to be honest, I've done some lengthy races. The best medals that I've ever had have been the Run Disney ones. They are weighty. I mean, yes, there's a sort of characterness aspect to it as well that we understand, but it's weighty. It feels like a real piece of kit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that the other medals are a little bit bigger, but my case going out was 9.5k. Coming back, it was 12.5k. And I didn't buy that much.
Yeah, a lot of that will be the medals. We have to almost sit on your case to get you through, doesn't we?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
But
yeah, I like it. Nice thick strap. Orange.
Yeah. It looks good. Looks good. Cool. So that was the 5K. 5K, of course, has no balloon ladies in the 5K. I think, so the route for the 5K, we've done a whole video on the route. The route literally just being basically around Epcot, around the World Showcase, finish back through Spaceship Earth, back to the glorious Epcot car park. I think it's the route that has got the most amount of Disney per minute. And yes. I know that's not a measure that's real, but a lot of the other races, you either got road or you've got backstage stuff. This actually felt most of the track, most of the race itself was being able to look at Disney stuff in Epcot. So I was quite a fan. It was pretty warm.
Yeah, very surprisingly warm actually, and I'm really pleased with my choice of outfit. So I had almost like a tennis dress on, and I am so pleased that I had that because it was just so hot. And I know people are like, oh, it's Florida, but we're bearing in mind we were running at like 5 a.m.
Yeah,
you know, so it's not like we were running at 10 a.m. and obviously it's going to be really hot. We were running at 5, and it was still really, really hot.
And it was the humidity, I find. It just sticks to you. But nevertheless, so that was the 5K medal. We're going to move on to the 10K now. So 10K, this was on the Saturday? Saturday. Yeah. This was the Saturday, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Because this was the day that we actually ended up moving from Animal Kingdom Lodge to Saratoga Springs. But yes, this was the Saturday. So Lauren, show us the 10K medal.
Yeah, so I think this is so cute. I love it. So there's obviously, as I said about the other one, there wasn't many interactive parts. However, there's quite a few interactive parts in this one. So obviously it's themed by Winnie the Pooh. We've got Winnie and Tigger here. So Tigger actually jumps up and down, which is just so cool. And then, I don't know if you can see, there's honey, like glitter honey here. It does run down.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Which is absolutely amazing.
That's pretty cool.
And obviously all that stuff on the back, the authenticity marker there. And I'm a massive fan of this blue. This blue is such a lovely blue. So yeah, I really like that one.
It's pretty impressive. I think the 10K, the 10K was fine as a race itself. There's, Run Disney is a company, and people need to realize that not everybody's running. It's by no means, this isn't the Boston Marathon. Walkers are more than tolerated, Mike. But nevertheless, I think it was pretty good. It was a pretty good event. It wasn't that one that your strap broke, was it?
No, that was.
Is that the next one?
Yes, I think.
Right, we can come on to that in a second then. But actually, this is a well-known thing that happens to several people. Just make sure that when you actually get your medal, just give it a quick once-over. Make sure it hasn't got any dings, scratches, etc. They will replace it for you, but just make sure of that one. So that was a 10K on the Saturday. Sunday then was the 10-miler itself, and you and I pined about this as to why 10 mile. It is becoming a more common race distance. However, it's still by no means what I would call common. You have the 10K and then it goes to the half marathon, which is 10K is 6.2 miles, half marathon is 13.1. To me, I was wondering, well, why on earth to do that? But it was so hot then, and you and I finished relatively early compared to an awful lot of participants. There were people who were still running many hours after us, and I now know, I think, you cannot do a marathon in spring under those conditions with the types of run. This isn't Badwater 135. These aren't people who are training in saunas and heat suits. That's not the point here. No. These are people who are doing it because they either enjoy running or enjoy Disney, and this is a method to get into fitness. I really understand. I even think a half marathon might be too much in springtime. So I understand why it's only a 10 miles. With that said, Lauren, 10-mile medal. Let's do it.
Yes. So I love the Inside Out films. So this was right up my street. I love how it's kind of like a flower shape. I'll show you the back because it's easier to see. Yeah, it's kind of like in a little flower shape, which I think is just really cute. They're all so unique. It's so lovely. And then you also got like joy and sadness, and then the interactive parts is the memories, the core memories spin.
Oh, that's what they are.
Which I just think is so cute. And then obviously that's just a little flower. But I do like how it says 5 years of running, because obviously it was the 5th year of the springtime surprise, which is obviously marked on there and on the t-shirt here.
Is it online? Yeah.
So yeah, I do really like this one. And purple is my favourite colour. So with the strap being purple, absolutely love it. Yeah, really like it. Really nice medal.
Explain what happened when you put it on, though.
So yeah, so I had the medal on like this, which is great, and blah blah, and I was like, woohoo! But because they are Velcro at the top, my Velcro just completely came undone. This, obviously, with it being super duper heavy, just slid straight off and hit the floor. Thankfully, a cast member did see it happen, and she said, nope, that absolutely will not do. You will get a new one. So she just was looking at it and she was like, nope, you just need a new one. I can't see any dings on it right now, but you don't want to take it home and it have a ding on it, so just get a new one. And it was the easiest process ever. So if that does ever happen to you, it's very, very easy to get a new one, so please do.
And so where did you go to get a new one?
So it fell off just as we were kind of going through all the funnels, because I just instantly took it out the packet, put it on straight away. So it was before we got to where you get your like snack pack and banana. And I just it was literally just before then. So you go through that funnel and then you come out to kind of like the main car park, and it's just where the info point is. It's just past, well, when we did it, it was just past like the children's area. Which again, I think was really cool. They had a little kids area with like, outside toys and stuff so that they could be entertained. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, it's just after there. You can get a new medal.
That's good. That's awesome. So those are the 3 main medals. And if you do any of the races, all you have to do is start the race. You don't have to finish, but all you have to do is start the race and you will get your medal. If you do all 3, that is what's called the challenge medal, which is the 19.3. Clearly, the t-shirts are themed to the same characters as the medals are. So this is obviously Aladdin themed. Lauren, show us the surprise medal.
Oh, this is my favorite one. I love it. So obviously we've got massive genie here, the 19.3 miles there, Aladdin on his carpet that's got a springer on, so you can see it there. It kind of springs and dances a bit, and then it's got the glitter here that again falls. And I absolutely love the fact that they've got the 2 medals with the falling glitter. I just think it's super duper cute. Yeah, absolutely love this one. I think it probably is my favourite medal. I'm looking at over there because my medal rack is just there, and I do think it is my favourite medal. It's definitely my biggest.
Oh yeah, and so and folks, this is something I don't know if they do this on purpose, but it seems to be both with the marathon weekend, with the springtime surprise weekend. I don't know about the others, but the longer the distance of the race that you do, the medal is slightly heavier. Now I don't know if that's done on purpose. That could be pure coincidence with a small sample size, having only done 1 dopey and 1 springtime surprise. But it seems to be like quite coincidental. The further distance you went, the heavier the medal is. I don't know if that's a factor. But Lauren, so springtime surprise done, medals done. I do think that the medals that you get from the Run Disney are so much above and beyond what you get even in major marathon or major race events.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hanging up there, I've got Manchester Marathon, which is a really big one in the UK. Obviously, I know that London is a big one, but Manchester is kind of one of the second biggest, I think. Similar sort of footfall. There was 36,000 people doing it when I did it, so it's quite a prestigious one. That medal is not a patch on these. And also, I've done other international races. I've done a half marathon in Prague. And that was the...
We've all done stuff.
That was the kind of national half marathon that they do, and it's one of the super halves. Again, not a patch on those medals. So yes, you are in a lot of money, but for the t-shirts that are Brooks t-shirts, the medals that are super weighty and interactive, I think it's great.
Oh, it is great. It is great, and we've spoken already. Dopey at some point will be on the cards. We didn't get in for 2027. for life reasons, probably won't be 28. So then we're looking at 29, and then so it's just next iteration, next iteration, next iteration. But nevertheless, it's still something that we want to do because it's fun. And although I may or may not have got Lauren into running ultra distances now, which is hilarious, by the way, because she said she'd never do it. Nevertheless, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being with us for the last year on this journey. The reality is that we do this because we enjoy it. We've got a lot more to come. We've got more trips to Disney to do. We've got more Run Disney stuff to do. So please consider commenting, liking, subscribing, all the usual stuff that you hear people say on these things. But until next time, please stand clear of the doors. Bye, everybody.
Bye.